The guest is in the studio. Silvva, my brother, how you doing?
Yeah, bro. All good, man.
You good?
Yeah.
Hey, you came in here looking all snazzy, my guy. Shall I bloomer as if to see you?
Yeah, you know how it goes, bro. You need to look the part.
I love that. Brother man, first of all, thank you very much for making the time to come and have a chat with us, but also to bless us with some music. Let's start here. How are you doing?
I think there is a two-way answer to that question,
Sure.
because you could be asking, how am I actually doing? And I could be like, I'm doing okay. Or how am I actually doing? Like deep. But I'm alright, bro.
Yeah.
Everything is good. Just dropping the song, so I can't be happier. Yeah.
Nah,
Yeah.
we'll get into that a little bit later. But one of the other things, that we love asking on the social experiment, just so that we are able to get into your mindset, is that you've been in the music business for a number of years now.
Yeah.
How are you
Yeah.
finding that?
Yeah, bro, it's a challenge.
It's a challenge.
It's a pretty much challenge, because every year or everything you do is basically a learning curve. It's a step to the right direction or to the wrong direction. So it's quite a challenge. But what matters is that you learn from everything that you do, so that you basically get everything right as you go.
Speaking about learning as you do, I think some of the first releases that you had were through international record labels,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I want to touch a little bit on that because we are seeing a trend here. We are being adopted more internationally than locally. Why is that?
Yeah, but mainly there's to do with the consumer this side. So for instance, people here consume what everyone else consumes. So like the market is very small here. Whereas on the other side, people really love music in general, like dance music. Whereas here people with dance music, they're skeptical. So I think that's one of the main reasons why we are being adopted on the other side, because people that side, they really love dance music as a whole. They don't really care if it's popular or it's underground, as long as it is nice, properly mastered, quality music, they jam to it. So that's the thing.
Speaking about the market, I mean, let's then. I know it's going to be unfair, né?
Yeah.
But let's compare the market in terms of support. Are we doing justice locally, or are we seeing more support internationally?
Looking at the space that I'm at, I think locally we're not really doing justice. That's why I would find like the top name guys don't really gig here, because the support is not as big as they would have wished or hoped, since it is like a home ground. So
And the international odds, how did you get started? Take us through. I mean, some of the first, labels that you worked with would be Grooveland Africa, but that's obviously with us. But also would have Afrohouse.
yeah, Afrohouse is actually in Angola. So the labels that I really work with abroad is like the Get Physicals, the DM Recordings. They're quite a lot, but just that I can't really recall some of them. But how I ended up working with them was that, like, through social media, you obviously meet the record labels, like, okay, they do my kind of sound. I'm just gonna send these couple of demos that I have, and if they love it, they're gonna respond, and then we gonna take it from there, build a relationship, end up releasing over and over. And before you know it, some other labels, even like prominent one, they discover you from those labels that are released on. So that's how it goes. It's basically social media. Yeah.
That's great, because you're saying that you'd send demos, but from the past conversations that we've had with the guest, some of them say demos that are submitted locally are being rejected, and then internationally they're being picked up. So what are the difficulties with working with local
labels? Yeah, so it's pretty much straightforward, because with the local labels, they mainly reject records because they're not really prominent on the street. because I've experienced with that where I've been trying to send like some demos locally and they rejected. But once you get someone like Black Coffee play that song, and then you'll get those local labels reaching out to you to like, yo man, we'd like to do something with you. So you see, they don't really, I would say the A&R game is not as effective, sorry to say, as compared to that side. So it's still the same thing, like as I was saying, with that people here listen to something that's already out there as compared to something that's underground. It's still the same thing with the A&R. It's like they do the very same thing that the consumer does. So that's like the main issue here.
So speaking about A&R, for me it's quite important for an A&R, of a record label to be on point.
Yeah.
But let's talk about you and some of the partnerships that you please create in selecting people that you work with. How do you go about that?
I'm an energy guy, man.
Sure.
If the energy is right, we work. But first thing is first, because I'm a workaholic, so I would want, if you approach me or vice versa, that energy of hunger, like someone who's really willing to put in the work, it becomes easier for me to actually say, this is the guy that I'm going to work with. That's why the guys that I've really been working with since I started music, some I meet them along the way, we still tight till this day because I'm an energy guy and they really push in the work. But if you're like that person who don't take it seriously, then it becomes a bit of an issue, because to me this is not a hobby. I'm hoping to get somewhere with it. So
you're releasing quite a lot of music with a record label called Ahead of Time.
Oh yeah.
What's the relationship?
Actually, Ahead of Time is my label.
There we go. You must update your bio there. Okay?
It's actually there on my bio, just that it doesn't really state. But it's a label that I co-founded with friends of mine, Pomosola, who's a graphic designer, and Fred Figo, who's a writer, and the guy who deals with like the paperwork and publishing side of things.
That's because, sometimes when you don't have a stable, it really becomes difficult. Because there are some projects that you don't want to give away, or you don't want to release through another stable. There's a good friend of mine.
So like releasing your own music, I think I need to touch on the fact that one of the main reasons why I decided to like have my own label or stable with my friends was because sometimes you send demos and they get on rejected everywhere, and you're like, this song is actually too good to not go out. Of course, when you reject it, you end up saying maybe it's just not too good and you're not releasing it. So you pass on. But then the importance of releasing your own music is because you have control of everything that happens with that project. For instance, with the content, since I started releasing my own tracks with Ahead of Time, you can check the content really changed. The effort is really on everything. The graphics have to be dope, the content, the write-ups.
Of course, the whole package.
The whole package. But when you work with other labels, they don't put as much effort. And you're like, why would I put more investment in that project, whereas we're going 50-50 with a split with those guys? But because this is my thing, I'm able to like go all out. So even when the other labels approach me now, I'm like, okay guys, I've set the standard. This is where we at with Ahead of Time. I can't accept anything less. So it becomes really bad.
I like that. Let's talk about how you make money. I know that it's a little bit tough in this industry because the gigs are not coming in quite a lot. But I know that you are also an audio engineer.
Yeah.
You are also mastering on the side. Let's talk a little bit about that, because clearly that's what pays the bills.
Yeah, for sure, actually. So I started sound for 2 years. Just barely years. I can't really recall, but I think sometime 2017.
Which institution?
I started in Damelin.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
So this is actually the one that really pays the bills. So what I do is I do mastering, I do mixing, and I do audio editing. With audio editing, sometimes like you leave your track, like this track is missing something. And then I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna throw in a bass line there, and then just gonna balance the track. That's basically what I think that I do. I record artists for other people. Pretty much what occupies me the most. Lately, actually this year, it's like really been proper because I'm starting to get like the guys from abroad, which are even bigger. And when I
that's
touch on those projects, sometimes I have that nerve, like I'm really working on this guy's project, you know, like but I do it well. I mean, Black Coffee plays my song, so in clubs like High Ibiza, so already my quality is good, so it's already solidified. So I think that's why I get the confidence to really like touch on these projects that I touch from the big guys. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
I forgot to actually touch on that new song. What's that new song called? Where can we get it?
So the new song is called Spirits. I work with an amazing vocalist from Kenya.
There we go.
Olivia.
Oh, you're international, man. Yeah, you're international.
Yeah, man. So yeah, you can find it in all the streaming platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube Music. So
Please get it legally. Please.
yeah, for sure.
Brother man, thank you very much. Go prep, right? And then we'll get into the music.
Nah, thanks, bro.
Fantastic stuff. That was Silvva. He is.
Okay. It's pretty much straightforward, man. Like for demos, I'll start with that one because it's only like really one image. You submit your demos ahead of t at gmail.com. Ahead of t at gmail.com. That's pretty much where you submit your demos. And then on socials, everywhere it's pretty much at Silvva _ OFC. OFC in capital letters, meaning official. Yeah, because I've getting asked a lot, what does OFC mean? But it's really official.
It's just official.
Yeah, it's just nothing much to it. So everywhere is really Silvva with WV _ OFC. And to send your stuff for like mixing or engineering or whatever, you can always send me a DM because at times email can be missed or whatsoever.
Of course.
So pretty much all my socials are open to that. Then I'll take you through the right channels on where you can submit the stuff and whatsoever. So yeah.
Fantastic stuff.